back with the second episode of No One As show. Whatever, no one cares. Whatever. It's episode 2. It's a show. Whatever. We got a new EDP doc where I don't know. He goes on about his love for 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, and even sometimes 14-year-olds. We got Drake doing a 20v1. I never thought I would see that. And we got Hasan and Asmongold fighting over, I don't know, who wants babies dead more or something. I will say, this Mike Clum EDP doc is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, if this wasn't like real people, I'd probably actually find this extremely funny. Like, this would be a good, what they call those things, mockumentaries? You know, this would be a good parody or something. This would legitimately be funny, but this is somehow real life. So there's so much stuff going on in this EDP doc. He talks about his attraction to teenagers, 14-year-olds. He questions the age of consent, why it's 18 years old. He did shout out Sneeko in this documentary, so maybe that's why. He shouts out Sneeko because Sneeko was one of the main people arguing that the age of consent shouldn't be 18. I never get why EDPs like to talk about age of consent and it being 18 or whatever. I think a lot of people would rather, if they had to change the age of consent, they rather raise it to a higher age than lower it. I never get why pedophiles like to bring that up. We also got, I think the funniest part of this EDP doc is when he brings in his fat old girlfriend, his fat girlfriend called Marissa. Now this was a great segment. Somehow EDP got a girlfriend who accepted him and believed he wasn't into kids, even though he spent the entire doc talking about being into kids. Marissa, the beautifully edited bit or segment, it came off to me like a bit where she's defending EDP and saying the Brian she knows would never like kids, and then it cuts to EDP dumping her or saying he got rid of her because she got on his fucking nerves. That's good comedy. Now I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't script such comedy like this. Another part I like. I can't. A part where EDP talking about why he, I guess, went to meet with the minor. What tempts him to meet with a minor, and he says, and I'm not even joking, or at least this is how I took it. He likes to meet he always gets tempted to meet with these minors because there's always something in the back of his head wondering if it's actually real, like if maybe it's actually a minor. I always sit there and thought, like, yeah, this is the case when it comes to people like this in 2026, because there's so many pred catchers and whatnot that you gotta look for. Forget Chris Hansen, you gotta look out for Gideon now. It's like, what makes you sit there? And then there's like a dozen other wannabe pred catchers. It makes you wonder, like, what makes these people sit there and go out and meet these minors knowing it could ruin their life? And then I realized, like, these people are just mentally sick and they can't help themselves. There's always something in the back of their head, like, but what if this isn't Gideon? What if it really is a 13-year-old? Nigga, I could be missing out on my blessings. This could legit be, it could even be younger if I'm lucky. This shit is so crazy. Again, there's another part in this that would legitimately be funny if it wasn't so scary. There's a part, EDP got a friend. What's that nigga named Jimmy or something? He got his friend in here defending him. A friend, I guess he's known since middle school. Bro, how come I don't have anybody this loyal to me? I don't think I have anybody in my life who would sit there and get on camera after I've been exposed as a predator and defend me. Jimmy pretty much says he will let his kids around EDP. And then there's a segment where you literally show, I don't know how, I don't know why they filmed this, but it literally shows EDP. I think, what was he sitting on the bed or whatever? He just chilling with some little girl. I didn't even know EDP was supposed to. I didn't even know we was allowing EDP around little kids. I mean, I'm assuming that little girl is the daughter of his friend Jimmy or whatever his stupid ass name was. I don't. Whoever the mother is, she needs to. I don't know. She might need to intervene, or maybe, who knows? Maybe she's cool with this, but I don't know why they did this. Film this. It was funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was super funny until you realize that, again, this is real life. This is a real minor they got around this man. Dear Lord. So many funny moments in this documentary. I almost feel bad for finding this thing funny, because it really isn't. And then you have just like creepy moments where he just admitting to random stuff, admitting to finding some 14-year-old girls attractive. He admits to beating his meat in the girls' bathroom at Walgreens. Some very disturbing things that he probably should be in prison for, or worse. But I would say my second favorite part, outside of the whole Marissa bit, was that, like, near the end, when they have all these like random people, influencers, whatever, come in and pretty much insult EDP, call him like the worst human being ever. And then you have goofy ass Adam 22 come in, and this nigga means of insulted, saying, I wouldn't let you sleep with my wife. You would have to be the last human being alive for me to let you sleep with. What makes you think EDP is interested in sleeping with your wife? Your 40-year-old wife, gang. She's like way over the age limit for EDP. Like, and it, bruh, I feel like this should be a serious moment. Like, why are you sitting there cucking at such a important, I want to say serious documentary, even though it's not serious? Like, come on, gang. Adam, like, oh, and we gotta talk about Adam now. Since this, I feel like this is the perfect segue. You know, talking about PDFs and Adam 22. Now we're going into Drake and Adam 22's wife. I feel like it's the perfect kind of segue into that.
Are you into role play?
Like
Silly?
Like silly.
A little silly?
Yeah. I am absolutely, by the way, you can look me dead in my eyes. If you say do it, I would fully commit.
Okay. You're saying this, and now I'm gonna like test it.
Okay. What do we, just give me like one.
Would you bark for me? Good boy.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Wow, I've had this dream before. Hi, how are you? What's going on? Wow, okay. This is probably not gonna go over well later.
Hi.
How are you?
Lena.
Nice to finally
Oh
meet
yeah, I
you.
recognize you.
Hello.
So do I.
How's everyone?
Wow.
That was a weirdly long hug.
I just like that moment. It's been coming.
It's been lingering.
Well, you have a husband. Why are you here?
Wait, hold on. Actually, can someone hold this for me?
I can, yeah. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right.
Lena, right this way.
Oh.
Thank you
that's
so
it?
much.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
the intro.
You guys are
We're
gonna have a
go on
date later.
Bye. Wow.
It's kind of hot.
The plug.
Shit.
Bro, why the fuck is Drake out here doing 20v1s? I saw some clips on Twitter. I'm not going to watch a 20v1 video, gang. I'm just not going to do that. Drake's almost like 40, or he is 40, doing a 20v1. Niggas should be ashamed of yourself. See, this is why you're. No, I'm gonna say it. This is why your mom shouldn't. This is why abortion should be legal until the age of 50. If a nigga hasn't proven himself by 50, I feel like that's enough time to, be able to abort someone. So I seen like 2 clips. You have one of them with fucking Adam 22's wife. Why would Drake? See, it can't be this bad for Drake, man. You sitting here doing a 20v1 with Lena the Pug with Adam 22's wife, and then they do this like just I don't even want how degenerate. Yeah, that's a good word. This degenerate bit where cause Adam 22 is like his whole thing is being a cuck. She takes off her wedding ring, throws it, I gives him a hall pass or whatever. I'm like, gang. What time? When does the humiliation ritual end for Adam 22? Again, these are all people within their 40s. Like, can y'all wrap this shit up, bro? Even the younger generation is embarrassed. Like, bro, come on now. And Drake, look, I know those. I know you dropped 3 albums that kind of came and went. People want to pretend like Iceman was this album of the year. Unfortunately, it was mid. Unfortunately, the other 2 albums were even worse than mid. I get it, but gang, it's not that bad off. Like, you don't have to sit here and degrade yourself to doing 20v1s with Lena the Plug. And oh, the other clip I saw, some goth chick. Apparently, I couldn't even believe this. Apparently, that was Tectone's ex. You don't know who Tectone is. In episode 1, the nigga just got married and he posted a clip. Not the clip, a picture of their wedding. The clip looked goofy to me, so I made fun of it a bit. That was in episode 1. I never thought I would talk about Tectone again. He's a YouTuber or whatever, streamer or some dumb shit. I don't know. He's very funny looking to me, so I find that funny. But he has this history where he was accused of abuse and whatnot. And I think this is the woman, this goth woman who was on the 20v1 with Drake, whose clip is going viral now. I think that might be her who won the civil suit against Tectone. And apparently all that breastage you see on her, apparently he paid for it, which is insane to me. Drake, grown ass man, hip hop legend, barking for Tectone's ex. Man, I don't even know what to say. The level of disappointment I'm feeling right now. I cannot believe I used to be such a huge fan of this man growing up. I just, damn it, Drake. I don't know what Kendrick did to this man's brain, but Kendrick needs to come out and apologize to society for what he's unleashed upon us. Yes, was Drake on some degenerate type timing before all this? Yes, but it was never to this level. I've never once thought, no matter how bad it got, no matter how many songs Drake did with Sexy Red, I never thought it would get to the point where he do 20v1s with fucking Lena the Plug and Tectone's ex. Fucking disgusts me, this world we live in. And then niggas are still gonna be fans of this nigga's music. Can you believe that shit? Nigga, just off the principle, I don't even care how good the song is, nigga. Off the principle, once you do a 20v1, you should not be allowed to make music ever again, nigga. You should never be allowed to do anything artistic ever in your life. Especially this nigga did what did Iceman did, like what, almost 500,000 first week. Nigga, it cannot be that bad. What I'm about to say may sound hateful. It is. I truly hope your son grows up to hate you. If you actually, if the rumors are true and you somehow do have a daughter out there, I hope he links up with her and they form a duo. The duo is strictly its main mission is to dethrone you and ruin your legacy. That's what I hope happens to you for doing this dumb shit, Drake. You owe me an apology, and you owe every former Drake fan an apology and a good album, and then maybe we'll forgive you. In my opinion, should abort Adam 22. I always felt like Adam 22 was coping. I feel like he does drugs to really. I think he thinks that he copes with his wife, in which he does, by trolling and whatnot. And I don't take it serious. Like, you get sitting there in the EDP documentary, cracking jokes about how he wouldn't let EDP cuck him. Like, bro, you should feel ashamed of yourself. You have a daughter, gang. Let me not even, you have a daughter. You should feel ashamed. You shouldn't. Some people should just be allowed to have kids. You know, some people should have been aborted. You know, 6 months before they were born. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And M22 is one of those. The damage this man is doing to society, or what he's trying to do to society, because he's not succeeding, but the damage he's consistently trying to do to society should not go unpunished. This man should be, his name should be written down in the history books as a lesson for all to know. He should be shamed for generations to come. His family name, and you know, his, if he ever has a son, his daughter, all of them should carry the weight of this shame. Just so, you might sit there and think, well, that's harsh. No, I don't think it's harsh. I don't think it's a harsh enough punishment. Society is deteriorating. Okay? People sit there and wonder why we live in such an evil world and why God doesn't do anything about it. But have you ever thought, what if God's answer to all the evil that goes down on earth is to just smite everyone? So what if we all just, what if God decides to flood the earth again? Which would he be, if God decides to flood the earth again, would he be wrong? He'd be wrong if he decided to flood the earth again. Okay, me personally, I'm not trying to drown because y'all niggas want to be cucks. Because y'all niggas just want to be degenerates out here. Okay, and that's all I'm trying to say. Y'all sit there and always beg God to sit there and do something about all the evils in the world. Why don't God ever do something about this or that? What if his answer just to drown everyone? Then what? Then y'all feel some type of way. Then y'all in hell or heaven mad as hell because y'all got drowned. But y'all was sitting there begging for God to do something. How about we sit there and just try to create a world that's just less shameless, instead of sitting there asking God to do something? Because if God does something, if God has to come down here and, you know, Old Testament style, bro, none of us is going to be happy. It's all going to be Adam 22's fault. All right, last segment, we have Asmongold and Hasan arguing over who hates babies more. You know, Asmongold feels like Hasan hates babies more. Hasan feels like Asmongold hates babies more. We'll get to the bottom of this. So Asmongold just got banned for saying that people, when they come across the borders, if they have babies with them, they should still get shot anyways. The logic behind it being that, I guess, if you're committing a crime with a baby, simply having a baby on you doesn't really stop you from, you know, dealing with the consequences of committing a crime. You know, I obviously you can't go up and shoot up, rob a bank, shoot up a, you know, whatever, Walmart or whatever, and be safe because you have a baby attached to you or whatever. That's the logic, I'm guessing, anyways. He got banned for his comments. Hasan immediately went on Twitter to celebrate, you know, Hitler's dead, all this. Asmongold eventually makes his video explaining his position and doubling down and not apologizing. Hasan, I guess, doesn't like this. Asmongold then calls out Hasan for hypocrisy, because Hasan in the past has said, matter of fact, let me just bring up the tweets, nigga, capping this dumbass shit. Asmongold's response to being banned for advocating murder migrants was to double down and then talk about other kinds of children that should be murdered. I am not even joking. This is Hasan's response. Asmongold responds back to this saying Hasan has said that Israeli settlers were valid military targets, and then explicitly said that there are baby settlers. Anyone can look this clip up and find it. You're mad that I said to shoot kids. You're not mad that I said to shoot kids. You're just mad the kids I said to shoot aren't Jews. Hasan responds saying, no surprise, the child murder advocate is lying for the state most famous for murdering children, Israel. I don't know why Hasan does that. Why does he always sit there and say niggas is lying, bro? The clip's literally out there. You said that. Am I tripping? Did he not say verbatim the Israeli settlers were valid military targets? It said that there are baby settlers. I'm pretty sure he said, what did he say that shit on, like, when he was did that podcast with H3, I think, or something, or at least around that time. Nigga, I have to pull up the clip because that nigga definitely said that shit.
Palestinians, and this is going to sound very radical and possibly very violent, but this is a matter of law, and maybe even if you agree with this, a matter of morality. Palestinians have the legal ground to violently seize back their own homes from these settlers. This is a reality, and that is precisely the reason why they have to exist under endless occupation in the West
You know
Bank.
what? And that's why I say, if it was settlers, that would be a lot more understandable. Yeah. But let's not obfuscate. Okay, I understand what you're saying. This dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand, and there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
But the babies that killed were not.
I know.
Okay, so
now that we established that.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Now that we established that.
Nigga, it took me 5 seconds to find that clip. Why even lie about this? Bro, you're no different from... I love how in this clip, he has a respect for the law when it comes to Palestinians. Like, nigga, you're no different from Asman. You both feel the same way. You both feel like there are situations where it is morally okay to unalive, to abort babies. Let's just use that terminology, to abort babies. The only issue is that Asman saying it in regards to illegal immigration. But anyways, XQC would give his take. I kind of agree with XQC's take on this. I think the core fundamentals behind what Asman is saying makes sense as more of a concept, but the methodology and vivid imagery behind it and the way he's saying it is effing terrible. The messaging becomes the problem. Unfortunately, the people gamify immigration these days. They gamify the F out of it, and they bring their child in extremely dangerous and lethal positions in order to achieve their goals, and that's effing evil, man. So yeah, there you go. I kind of agree with them. A lot of Asman fans are gonna be like, well, it shouldn't matter the way he said it. It should be matter like the only thing that should matter is the truth. And I hate to bring it to you, but that's not the world we live in. That's not the political field we live in. A lot of people sit there and feel this way. That doesn't even really work in real life, to be honest. Like, you can't sit there and just tell your friends something and then be like, well, and they get mad and you be like, well, it's the truth. Yeah, I said it as harshly as I could possibly say it, but it's the truth. Like, people aren't going to receive it that way. You can't just sit there and tell your girlfriend, hey, you're fat as hell. You look disgusting. You look unhealthy. You need to lose some weight. Shit, it might be true. You might sit there and have her best interest in mind, but it's not going to go. You're not going to achieve the goal you really want. All you're going to do in Asman's case is get clipped and, be perceived in the worst possible, most uncharitable light ever. Even though the point you're trying to make in, dear Lord, forgive me for, for slightly agreeing with kind of what he's saying. You can't, logically speaking, if you allow people to use kids as shield, it's just going to incentivize them to do it more. So, and God forbid, you don't patch it. Now this is the new method. Oh, we can get across the border. All we need is some human baby shields. Bet, nigga, I was finna traffic these hoes anyways. Say less. I mean, you don't. Again, logically speaking, you don't probably want an open. I mean, I guess the people who are mad at individuals, like Hasan, they probably want more of an open border anyways. They're they're pro illegal immigration, or they don't even believe in illegal immigration. They just look at it all as immigration. So they probably don't see it that way. I don't think you should just be able to cross any border freely. Honestly, we should know who's coming in and out the country. Obviously, there's a lot of drug smuggling that goes on, drug trafficking, children and women trafficking, a lot of horrible things that could take place, a lot of horrible people that could come through, especially left unregulated. And there are other consequences, economical consequences potentially, just a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have a open border, and you shouldn't let people use babies as shield to commit crimes, because whether or not you like it or not, illegally crossing a border is a crime. that's it for the episode. If you feel me, go ahead, leave a like, sub up if you want to or not. It's all good. I don't really like to get too with this series get too political. I like to keep it light. More so when a crack of jokes. You feel me? But hey,